Despite the mainstream media's best efforts, there is now no one can deny the massive problems that are going on when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The failure of the Marvels, as much as people wanted to excuse away this thing or that thing, it is inexcusable to have a movie that costs that much to make fail this hard at the box office. And now even Disney CEO Bob Iger is personally admitting, you know what? We've really fucked up Marvel. In fact, Disney CEO Bob Iger says that his #1 priority at the company is turning Marvel around. Isn't that strange? You know, we've been talking about this for years now, and we were told you're just toxic fans, you just like to hate everything, blah, blah, blah. Now, even the CEO is admitting that Marvel is headed the wrong direction, that they need to turn things around because it's been a nightmare. Now, Bob Iger's reasoning for some of those things might seem a little strange, and we're going to get into that. Bob Iger also came out and said, you know, we have to be careful about the messaging we put in our stuff, that it doesn't overtake the entertainment aspect. Yet people have been saying that for years, and all the people that got hired that do those things, all of that started under Bob Iger's tenure, even if he wants to try to push the buck to Bob Chapek. But anyway, let's get into this. Disney CEO Bob Iger says #1 priority is turning around Marvel, acknowledges too many sequels after box office misses. Disney CEO Bob Iger said Wednesday his #1 priority for the entertainment giant is turning around the creative engine at Marvel Studios. The production house, once known for cranking out billion-dollar blockbusters, has recently seen several box office misses. Quote, "Quality needs attention to deliver quality, and it doesn't happen by accident. And our quantity, in our case, diluted quality, and Marvel has suffered greatly from that. I would say right now my #1 priority is to help the studio turn around creatively." That is a big statement. It is a big admission of how far Marvel has fallen. And of course, he's blaming a lot of that on the Disney Plus shows that they made, and he's putting a lot of that blame on Bob Chapek. Well, you know, under Bob Chapek, they really started ramping everything up, and that's when things went off the rails for the MCU. That's what he's trying to claim. That's what he's alleging. Oh, you know, just got to blame Bob Chapek for everything when Bob Iger was still there. Bob Iger was still in his office. Bob Iger never really left the company. So the fact that he is just using Bob Chapek for a fall guy, like we've said he would for a while. But in addition to that, he also spoke specifically about failures like the Marvels. Disney CEO blames MCU executives for the Marvels box office failure. So is he shitting all over Kevin Feige with this? That's what you might take from the headline, but it's a little bit more complicated. He's actually blaming, guess what? COVID. Because not as many executives and supervisors were on set due to COVID. That's what Bob Iger is saying is part of the reason why The Marvels is such a bad movie. Bob Iger weighed in on why he thinks 2023's The Marvels performed poorly. Despite The Marvels' cliffhanger ending and exciting future setup, the film followed a downward trend of superhero cinema that is drastically underperformed. Many assumed the lack of publicity the film received was the main catalyst. Well, by many people, you mean really stupid people. No actual intelligent person thought that that's the reason why this movie failed. With Marvel's 2024 movie releases thankfully avoiding the same fate. However, Disney CEO does not echo these sentiments regarding the film's box office haul. As reported by The Verge, Bob Iger gave his thoughts on why the MCU's latest film failed to meet expectations. Speaking at a New York Times DealBook Summit, he reportedly stated the overwhelming amount of content being produced by Marvel Studios is to blame for the lack of quality. Specifically about the Marvels, he says, quote, "The Marvels was shot during COVID, and there wasn't enough supervision on set from executives." That's what he is blaming the Marvel. That's why it's bad. It must have just been because not enough executives could get down there. What, you couldn't put a mask on? Not enough execs could go down there and put a mask on? Is that what you're trying to allege? I don't know how much I buy of that, but it's just funny, right? How we've been talking about the failures of this for a while, and now all of a sudden Bob Iger not only is coming out and saying, yes, we need to turn this around, it's our top priority, but he's blaming essentially all of it on the fact that Bob Chapek just tried to produce too many things under his tenure. Not my fault. I'm here to fix it. I guess we'll see if it gets fixed anytime in the future. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.